Welcome to the Rise from the Ashes Consulting Show. I'm Kevin James.
I'm Tom Duhigg.
Hey, we have an exciting show for you today. One of my favorite topics, Tom, is marketing and sales. Today, we're going to talk about the 10 things,
the 10 biggest marketing mistakes that people make
that we don't want you to make.
Do not want you to make.
This is what you're not going to do.
Yeah. And if they notice, we start our shows with what not to do.
What not to do. We started with what not to do. Now, guys, stick around to the end because we're going to give away something at the very end that's going to be very beneficial for you as a business owner, a manager, a leader, a seasoned leader, a seasons manager, or even an entry-level manager or somebody wanting to get into it. Stick around. Transform your business, transform your life, starting now.
So today's show about the 10 biggest marketing mistakes.
Let's talk about them. I know, this is a topic that every business owner wants to know about marketing and sales. What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? Most people don't talk about is what not to do.
Well, so if you don't talk about what not to do and you're doing these things, then all the positive things you're doing are going to be canceled out.
Yeah.
That's why I always start with stop these. And then later we'll tell you what to do instead. But the first thing is, like in our leadership class, quit doing these things before you do these things. If you blend them, it just doesn't work.
It's going to be a fun show too, because we did not rehearse this whatsoever. So I have no clue where he's going with this. So,
and I know your head's going to explode.
I'm with you guys.
With some of these.
I'm with you. All right, Tom, lead us.
So, the 10 biggest, there are a lot of mistakes, right? But these are the ones that I think, in my experience in our coaching, are the ones that are most committed, that make the biggest impact, right, on a business. So if you're doing any of these things, I've watched this video over and over and make sure you're not doing any of them. Well, and it's not going to be obvious, but some of them aren't so obvious.
In 35 years of doing this, I think I probably made a few of these.
Oh, we all did. And that's why usually, we came up with these because you own a business, I own a business, and we committed these top 10, and they're not necessarily any order, kind of, but as we see, they're all very impactful.
Just a discussion.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And most businesses have to do marketing. I know some that they don't know; they're not sure what marketing is, so they fall victim to a lot of the scammers out there that know they don't know.
Absolutely.
Right. So basically, marketing has to be effective, meaning it's getting people in, it's getting people to call you, it's getting people to react, it's getting people to fill out the form, whatever you want them to do, right? So it's effective. They're doing what you want them to do,
right?
From whatever ad or media you're doing. And it's also profitable, right? You want your marketing to be profitable.
You don't want to spend more on ads or whatever. Television's one of the most expensive. So,
right. Yeah. So it's got to be profitable, right? We want your marketing to give you an ROI, which is why you have to track it.
And explain to, I know most people already know what an ROI is.
Yeah. So if you're spending, and we say it simply, if you're spending $10 on marketing, you got to get $100, $200, $1,000 back.
Your return on your investment.
Right.
Yep.
So the marketing has to be ROI, or else you're going to burn through a lot of money and not get the effectiveness you want. Right. So we call these mythstakes.
Okay.
Not mistakes, myths.
Mythstakes.
Because some of them is conventional wisdom. We always like to challenge the conventional wisdom. Right.
Right.
Now some of these people are told to do. Right.
Yeah.
And we're saying, no, that's bad advice. So it's a myth on some of these things. Just they're not true or they don't work. So if you're doing any of these, stop it immediately. Go back to your business and say, hey, timeout team, huddle.
Yeah.
We got to stop doing this. So number one, I know this is gonna make your head explode. Number one mistake that businesses make: marketing a business that does not operate well. Right? Quickest way to ruin your sales is invite people in, right? And have a train wreck. Have poor service, poor quality.
Okay. You're talking operations.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Operations. You're poorly operating. You're not, if it's a phone driven business. You're not getting back to people. You're not answering calls. It's going to voicemails, and it's just poor. I have a restaurant and retail background. You've got service background, and we both visit businesses around here, and how many do we really are blown away by great operations? And what it is they'll market, they'll get something in the mail, go, hey, I want to try this place out, right? New place, new coupon or something. They got me in, but they don't get me coming back because it is a train wreck. You're waiting forever. Like in restaurants, I don't go to new restaurants after at least 6 months.
Right.
Because I know
let them get on track and get the right people, because a lot of times they're hiring a lot of people that don't even know what to do, how to do it.
Yeah. So if you're not operating well, which means you have to shop your own place, you have to get reviews, you have to get comments, you have to really be in touch. People say I need to work on my business. Well, that's marketing, right? But you need to be in that business too, and making sure that it is flawless.
So from the outside standpoint, are you saying that you're a big fan of mystery shoppers?
Oh, absolutely.
Now, see, I got to tell you, I'm the opposite. Only because my experience with mystery shoppers as a retail manager was the mystery shoppers come in, and if they didn't like that employee, they gave us a bad review. So it didn't mean my operations was bad, but that reflected from a corporate level saying, wait a minute, you had a bad review. And that could detour you a little bit, but I understand what you're saying.
Yeah. And it depends on what they're looking for. They got to be the shoppers have to be trained, because some of them are just, to your point, no help at all.
Yeah. Because they'll just hire
or they'll say, oh, everything was great.
No. So pick your mystery shoppers wisely.
But audits and have people call your business and try to do business with you, and just that's what we encourage people to have strangers just so you got to be operating well, because if you run a marketing campaign, you get people to respond, and you're operating well, right? Well, that's ROI. Not only do you get the ROI on whatever they took you up on, but it's ROI in perpetuity.
Okay,
they come regulars. They use you regularly.
So you're saying part of the marketing program is to make sure your operations is implemented correctly before you start putting out the flyers, before you start inviting people to your business, before you start having mystery shoppers and stuff, and see what you need to enhance, which is a everyday thing. You've always got to continuously go forward with that.
There's this yearly coupon that comes to our house for a local restaurant. And I told my wife, let's go check it out. We haven't been there in a while, right? Filthy. It was a mess, slow. And I told my wife, this just reminded me why we don't come here.
Marketing can't never fix your operations.
No, you can't.
Marketing can't fix
so make sure that you're operating well, because if you aren't, if you're operating well, you get the raving fans. Right? We talk about raving fans and referrals.
Right.
If you're not, you get what called raving foes.
Okay.
And that they're trashing you.
Yeah. So we talked about that in our last episode about how one negative comment can go 10 times plus. One positive takes a long time to implement. And so you don't want the negative flow.
Right. Exactly. So, and what we help operators is we bring a couple of our own concepts in about operations excellence. One's called autopilot operations excellence. And our class tells you it's just you push a button and everybody does what they need to be doing. It's on training and systems and processes, and we call it autopilot because everybody knows what the high standards are and they're executing at high levels.
And see, this is all interwoven with our last topic of hiring right. And making sure you hire the right, not just get a warm body, but you're hiring to match the job. That creates the retention. And then you go into operations and marketing. And the operations is led by the retention of good employees matching the position. And then the tickle is the marketing to get them to come in. And now you still have to perform like a performer. You have to perform and make sure the operations is going well, so the marketing reflects it.
Then your marketing works.
All right.
So we talk about autopilot operations excellence, and the other ones we call shock and awe hospitality.
Shock and awe.
So those two only happen, right? If those two happen, everybody doing it's for any business, not just retail, restaurants, anyone that's providing autopilot operations excellence and shock and awe hospitality, meaning way going above, they are going to hook those customers. They will create the raving fans and not the raving foes. So first mistake, if you're not operating well, I mean really well, don't market. you're just going to hurt yourself. You're going to tell more people how bad you are.
And it takes a long time to recover from you can market really well, get the best copy written. You can get the best advertising. You can, I call it target marketing. You can hit your flow of people. You don't want to target outside your range. You don't want to market outside where your target is. Target, and then you get your people that you want. And guess what? It all falls apart, just like you're saying.
Yep.
So,
mistake number 2, doing nothing. Do no marketing, no advertising, no selling. This is the build it and they will come people.
Yeah.
They just sit on their hands and hope people show up.
Turn on the open sign.
Yeah. Click the neon sign and wait for them to come.
What have you been doing to build your business? I have my open sign on and I unlock the door. I'm here consistently at 9 o'clock. I open up every day at 9 o'clock.
Right.
I don't know why nobody's showing up.
Right. And I got a nice quote here from P.T. Barnum. Remember who P.T. Barnum is?
Yeah, absolutely.
He said, without promotion, something terrible happens. Nothing. Love that. So
great story, by the way. I just finished his book.
Did you?
Yeah, I just finished his book. Yeah,
I didn't know that.
It's funny you brought that up because I just finished the book on him. It was absolutely phenomenal story and the things that he overcome. But his operations were in place before he did his marketing. He was a marketing genius.
Right. My first restaurant that I co-owned with a partner, it was a build it and they will come, and they didn't come. Enough of them didn't come.
You turn the light on,
and we had great operation. We had the best food you can have, all from scratch recipes. Mexican food that we got recipes from my wife's family, and it was the best food ever, hottest sauce and all that. But nobody came. So here we had the operations, but no marketing. Nobody knew we were there.
Right. You didn't have a niche.
Yeah. So we quickly had to learn how to market.
Right.
And find out what works. So that was our big mistake, was do nothing.
And I
build
do.
They'll come.
And I want to tell you guys, especially if you're like an entry level manager, and you're saying, well, corporate won't advertise, corporate won't this, corporate won't that. Just get your operations in order. And there's a lot of grassroots ways that you can market your business and make money, and it barely costs you anything.
Right.
And we know a lot of techniques on that.
Yep. So if you're not doing any marketing, then do something.
Do something.
So doing nothing is a big mistake as far as marketing goes. And a lot of people do nothing. A lot of businesses do absolutely zero. And they just think, by my brand, by my reputation, I have a recipe, and they're going to, that whole entitlement that entitled to people's business, it doesn't happen. So you need to do something. Mistake number 3, again, conventional wisdom, looking at your marketing as a cost or an expense instead of an investment. That's a big change.
That's a big mistake.
Well, it's a big mental shift.
Yeah.
Going from,
we're talking mindset again,
money on a cost line, marketing, advertising, whatever, to the column of investment.
Right. Now,
very different.
No. Now, devil's advocate again. It can be a cost if you don't market properly.
Right.
You have to market to your target market, and you have to figure out, Dan Kennedy calls it your avatar. I think Dan calls it his avatar. You pick out your customer. Who's your ideal customer? And then you start tweaking your business towards that ideal customer and your marketing for that customer, and having that customer come in the door makes a world of difference. But if you don't do that, it's no longer an investment. It is an expense.
Right. And so if you're looking at it exactly right, if it is an expense, then you're not getting the bang for the buck.
Not doing.
So you have to ask yourself the question, is what I'm going to do here, is this a cost, a sunk cost? That money is gone. It'll never come back to me, or I can't track it.
Right.
I'm doing a promotion that there's no way to track, like a radio that there's no offer, or a TV spot that there's no, it's just a image branding thing that there's no way to track. Then that is a cost. Right. But we want you to say is every dollar you're investing in your marketing is going to give you a return. Now, the return could be different ways. It could be a money return. It could be a more leads return, right?
Yes.
It could be a database return. So ROI is not just money. It could be activities that lead to money.
It's future business.
Like prospecting.
Future business.
So that's good as long as it leads to a sale.
Right.
That's good. That is an investment in that. But if it's just something out there, and it is an expense, we're saying don't do it.
I had a lot of
Don't do it.
managers, a lot of business owners. That's the part that they just miss the mark. They
Mhm.
miss the mark on, I'm just gonna, I call it my theory of Jello on the wall. There's no such thing as Jello art,
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah.
You just throw it up there and see what's going to stick. It's not going to work. And I learned that from a Christian comedian, Mike Warnke. He was a great guy, but he said, you know, there's no such thing as Jello art. You throw it on the wall, it don't stick. That's what I feel like a lot of business owners, managers, and leaders do with, hey, come down to my business. They do it with social media. They do it with newspaper. It doesn't matter. They don't do the target.
Right.
They don't hit the target.
Well, and then I guess, well, what should my marketing budget be? Right. That's a legitimate question.
That's a good question.
I need to start somewhere. And the way I answer that is, well, if I'm putting $100 in the marketing campaign and I'm getting back 500 to 1,000.
Okay.
And I know I can prove it. I got 500 to 1,000 back.
Right.
I'm going to spend $200 next time.
Yes.
Right. And see if that happens. If I scale
Absolutely.
it, maybe I'll get to spending $1,000. And we do this when we're talking about direct mailers. This is one of the things that we do. We'll do a small test direct mailer and see how it does. If it works, we expand it.
That's exactly what I did. You actually turned me on to that in a different aspect. And we went from one section and hit 10,000 people with this particular flyer.
Mm-hmm.
It works so well that we decided to put it in 2 more areas, which gave us 30,000 people. Great return, hit it at the right time. Tweak the ad every month.
Yep, because it's working, you can tweak it.
Yep, tweaked it. And actually, on the downslide, we knew we went too far with the ad. So the next time we dialed it back. So, and very inexpensive. Very inexpensive.
When you look at the
ROI.
So
but tracking, to your point, tracking the ROI is absolutely crucial. You don't just throw it out there and hope something works.
Right. And you can go from $100 ad to spending 10 grand on a direct mail ad. I know people that spend 10, 20, 30,000 a month on direct mail.
Yeah.
And they started with a very small spend, 500, 1,000.
And you know,
but it's not their budget. It's just what they do because they get the return. They do. There's no that they don't tell me what their budget is. And this is one of many things we'll talk about that too. But yeah, there's no budget really.
And I know somebody might be thinking, it was a thought that crossed my head. So crossed my mind is somebody might be thinking, how do you track 10,000 flyers going out? You know, how do you decipher? The fun part about it is the company we were working with gave a virtual telephone number and a virtual site.
Ways to track stuff.
And then they sent us from that telephone number, actually tracks who was calling in, whether it was calling in directly to me, it was linked to our phone, our business phone. And then every time we picked it up, they knew that was a click for them. And then we knew how many sales we were getting off from. It was a great way to track that business.
So what I would suggest everybody doing, if they're, own a business or manage a business, right? Look at all your marketing and ask yourself, is this a cost? Or am I investing in this media?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
If I can't prove it's working, we suggest stop it. And then do things that work, that you can prove at work. And then really the only thing you're doing are campaigns that work.
Right.
Some will be more successful than others. Right. And some will give you ROI and, like I said, customer database or whatever. Right. But yeah, if it's working, then the only campaigns you're doing are ones that are working and trackable.
And it doesn't hurt to ask your customer, where did you hear about us?
Oh yeah, you have to. Yeah, it's a way to track it.
Yeah, it's the best way to do it.
So look at your marketing, get rid of the costs in marketing, and invest more in your marketing. Right. It'll transform your business.
I love that. Yeah,
absolutely. Transform your life.
Transform your life. Absolutely.
Okay. Mistake number 4. And this is one that everybody does too. Cutting back on marketing during tough times. Right? What's the first thing that goes?
Marketing.
When marketing is what? A cost.
An expense.
So
it's usually the first thing that goes is labor. They cut that out.
Yeah.
And that's your operations end. And we don't look at labor as an expense. We look at it as an investment if it's done right.
If it's done right, yeah.
And then also your marketing. That's the first thing everybody just take it out. Yep. And there's a lot of fun ways to market: emails, newsletters. Those are all great ways to keep your customers engaged,
right,
and get new customers.
The right
So,
response is to never stop marketing.
never.
And if it is
stop.
tough, it's seasonal, you're ready for those seasons.
Right.
We're ready for, in the summer when things dry up, literally.
Yeah.
We do more. We don't cut
Yeah,
back.
yeah.
We do more, and we
Just different.
increase, right?
Yeah.
We increase the ROI marketing and do other things.
Right.
So, which is an advantage while everybody else is cutting back. What are we doing?
Oh, we're increasing
more.
And
so we're getting out there more, and our customers are hearing from us more, hearing from our competitors less.
Right.
And so we're in their face. We're on
So
top of mind.
absolutely. Plus, you're in your competitor's backyard.
Mm-hmm.
You are actually, if you're increasing when everybody else is cutting back and you're increasing, just think of that exposure. Think of that exposure. Way more.
Everywhere.
Way more exposure.
Yep. We're everywhere. So another concept that we teach in marketing is you create your own economy.
Mm-hmm.
With great operations, with their operations excellence,
Right.
shock and awe hospitality, effective ROI marketing, right? That works. It's getting people in. You create an economy where everybody else is hurting. And this is going on with a lot of my clients right now. Their competitors are tanking right now. It's slow.
Right.
They're not. In fact, they're increasing sales because they know the strategy. They're creating their own economy.
Right.
They're creating, so they're not going to blame external forces or external circumstances. They're creating internal systems and processes that are counteracting whatever external is happening. So they really create their own economy.
And the thing about it is creating that economy does not have to be expensive. I'm gonna keep driving this because it's my belief.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm in business to make money, so I'm gonna find ways to market my business the least expensive, but knowing that it's an investment. Radio's still good. Radio's a great way to advertise. I love talking about radio because I started my career in radio. I started on radio and television, but but it's very expensive. But don't buy Prime. One of our favorite guys that we listen to, Dan Kennedy, I bring him up all the time. Yep. He talks about buy the nighttime ads. There's guys listening to that are going to increase your business also. It just depends. Again, you got to take a look at your business. And this is kind of like our hiring series. You have to match your marketing to your avatar. You have to match the person you're interviewing to the job. It's all a match game.
And what happens also, what you mentioned earlier, is they cut back on labor, right? So so what happens to operations when you start cutting?
Well, then your operations go downhill.
Back to number one mistake.
You're back. Yeah, you're
back
not
to operating well.
Exactly.
So you're not marketing. You're not marketing, but your operations are suffering too because there's no revenue coming in.
So what happens?
You're cutting down. You're trying to cut yourself to prosperity, and that never works.
Well, yeah, it's a quick way to downhill. But you got a point. So if you cut back on the labor and you cut back on the advertising, then you said, oh my goodness, maybe I need to advertise more. So see the vicious circle. So now you advertise a whole bunch.
And you're not staffed.
And then you're not staffed. You get all those bad reviews because you don't have the right people.
Another mistake similar to this is you react to slow times, right?
And
like you're saying,
that would be
I need to do this. I need to do that. And so you push something out there and you get a flood of people in, but you're not ready for them.
We're not
going right back to mistake number one. So the best thing is to have consistent ROI marketing, a calendar, right? And you know what you're going to do, and you create your own economy. And it doesn't matter what happens externally. And because everybody else is cutting back, everybody else is cutting labor, everybody else is cutting things, and you're not.
Right.
So as they're all doing their marketing and getting poor experiences, you're doing yours and you're capturing all that. Great way to get new businesses when tough times for everybody else. Because they're not executing.
That's a great way to do.
They're not executing.
Yeah. Do you go even further? I'm going to this in Guru Marketing. The book Guru Marketing, great book. Or not, I'm sorry, Guerrilla Marketing. Guerrilla Marketing. In that book, there's an excerpt in there where there's 3 bakeries on the same street. Okay, this is classic. And the one bakery on the left says, "Man, I got to do something to get more business." So he markets a 50% off sale on Saturday, right? And the guy on the right side, stage right, he looks and says, well, if he's doing 50%, I can't afford that. So I'm going to do 60% and I'm going to get all the business. And the guy in the middle's going, what am I going to do? I can't do 70% in my bakery. I'm going to lose my shirt. So what's he do? He goes and has a sign made and he put right above his door, main entrance. That's classic marketing right there.
Yeah, that's good. So do not cut back. Figure it out, right? The ROI marketing around. Fifth mistake. Now here's another one that's going to get us in trouble. It has gotten me in trouble before.
I got to speak about trouble in a little bit.
Yeah. Letting salespeople make your marketing decisions. Those are the sales reps that come in, right? They got their portfolio and they've got everybody else's.
Yes.
And they're talking to you and you need to put this ad in here. It's got to look like that. It's got to say that. It's got to be huge. It's got to be full page, and this is what you need to do. And this is working. So you can look just like them and you're going to sound like them. And there you go. And a new business guy saying, well, you're the expert.
Yeah. That's exactly
new business
what
owner
happens.
is. Yeah. I have to trust you. You've been doing this for 20 years. Right.
I've had that happen. Actually, the flyer that we decided to use for the pool company, the particular person we were using said, oh, this is best. That's best. This is what most of my pool people do, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And I said, well, I don't want to be your pool people. I want to be different. And we took a step. We wrote and rewrote and rewrote and rewrote that ad until we had the one that we wanted, you and I. And they kept, your salesperson will tell you, well, this is what everybody else does. I don't think that's going to work.
And contradicted you and said, that's not going to work.
Totally contradicted us. And then was completely amazed at our results when, hey, I was paying for the ad. It was my ad at the end of the day and my shoulders that had to bear whether that ad was going to work or not. And it actually turned out really well for us. We hit our target market and helped a lot of people with that. And so my point is, managers, business owners, salespeople, marketing people, if you know your target market, you write your own ad or work with somebody that understands your market.
Yeah.
And there's a big difference between marketing and sales. I brought that up in other videos. Big difference between marketing and sales. Make sure that person understands this isn't a 50% off sale. This is marketing to the right target to get the sales in the store. Big difference.
And the ad salesperson and you, the business owner, have different objectives. His objective is to make a commission.
Oh, good point. Yeah.
Bigger ad, full colors, multiple months, right? So you have the exact opposite. I want the smallest ad I can get away with, right? I want to be effective.
With the most impact.
I want to get the highest ROI.
Right.
And so it might be a little small placement ad. It might be a banner on a website. It might be a quarter page.
It might be a full page.
It might be a full page.
Right.
But
depends on what you're trying to do.
Then you want results, right? The salesperson, they really don't care about your results. No, I'm not saying not everybody. Some of them do. I've worked. What I'll do is I'll work with an ad person. Let me see what you got. Right. If they can't sell to me, they're not going to sell for me.
Right.
Right. That's one of my rules. He has me eating out of his hands, right? Because it's such a good and it's such a compelling presentation that I go, okay, let's talk. But most of them can't. Like I say, so tell me who's doing really well.
Well, here
on this ad and this promotion, I want to call that person, right? Give me a list of people that are doing this marketing and are getting the kind of ROI that I expect.
Right.
They don't have that list.
Right. And the thing is he's trying to sell you. And if you are unaware of how it's supposed to go, you're going to go for it. To me, I like to listen when I'm listening to somebody pitch me. I like to find out what they're going to say about my customer, the end user. To me, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter whether I think the ad's great or not.
Yeah.
It really doesn't matter.
Your opinion doesn't matter.
My opinion does not matter as a business owner. Your opinion don't matter as a business owner. Sorry, I know that's not the way traditional marketing goes. The one that matters is a customer at the end of the day.
Right.
Because without the customer, none of us are in business.
Well, and even the website people that create our websites, we have to go back and say, no, they don't know. So how many of these salespeople are actually copyright, direct response copywriters?
Right.
None. None of them are. And it's just, they're salespeople. They're there to make a living. I get it. There's nothing wrong with them. It's just, you need to know how to deal with them.
Right. Have somebody write your ad. I learned that the hard way. Have somebody write your ad. Somebody that's been in television or radio. Somebody that
Copywriter.
A copywriter that understands the customer. There's a lot of people say they're copywriters.
Yep.
But if they don't understand your customer, if they don't understand your business, they're not gonna attract people to your business.
How often have you heard this one? Hey, you put your ad right here, do this, and you'll be getting the word out.
Yeah.
Word out.
Yeah.
Word out on the street is what? What street?
Exactly.
What word?
Exactly.
It's all image branding, and your logo will go out there. How couldn't care less about the logo?
Kind of like that lady that was selling, the other lady was selling turkey legs at Thanksgiving to the truck drivers. And how many did she sell?
Zero. Yeah.
Zero. Because it was a wrong target, wrong market, wrong ad.
Right. And it's just silly, but again, new business owners don't know that.
Right.
Another one is the whole online, you need to be first on Google, you need to do all this and all that.
That's
and
a favorite.
And they end up forking out a lot. We had a social media company that one of my clients hired. And they said, you're doing so well. You got, 50 million impressions. You got this many clicks, this many likes, this many. And we're looking at the restaurant like,
but it's empty.
There's nobody here. We're all this. What's all this activity mean? Right. So we say there's BS. We know what that means. And there's BIS. Butts and seats.
Butts and seats. And
we want butts and seats. I don't want the BS. The BS is
you want them in your restaurant.
And a deposit slip. Remember, we used to write deposit check. It said cash, checks, coins. Right. It didn't say likes, shares,
it didn't
views,
say that.
Impressions. I can't deposit any of that. I can't.
We're not against social media.
No, we use it.
I am going to bring this up because we did have a comment the other day on one of our other shows that were old. How did he put it?
Old. I stopped at old.
No, it was old and out of touch.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say a lot of our ways are older. I'm not a big fan of social media, although I do believe in social media. I think social media is a great tool used the right way.
It's a campaign, right?
But it's an addition to the old way of doing things, direct marketing, handing out flyers. I'm sorry, but it still works.
Still does. Banner shaking.
Exactly.
The tax guy. Am I right?
I went to a restaurant last night. It's a brand new restaurant in town. Leva's restaurant downtown. And the owner come out and shook hands with everybody. That, how far that goes? And he said, we're new, so we're a little slow right now. We're not getting the food out but he went from a concession stand to a full-blown restaurant. It was packed. And the guy did a great job. And he just come out and shook hands and talked to people, and it's old-fashioned marketing. That's the best marketing right there.
Well, yeah, and get back to the salespeople. Boy, it's tough because I've told plenty of them after having a discussion with them. They go, "Well, you know what you're talking about." I go, "Yeah, and I think your thing is good, but not the way you're doing it."
Right.
I would tell them, "Why don't you guys learn how to be copywriters? Take a copywriting course, right? So you're not just a salesperson, but now you're actually doing something that's going to give them an ROI."
Same with your web design people.
And you know how many do it?
Zero.
Because again, it's not their worry as if you get a result. So I had one guy. This is a great story. He's showing me the magazines, right? You're one of 1,000 coupons in the magazine, right? So I say, hey, show me some restaurants. And in the first magazine, he showed me this record, and the second, he had like 3 or 4 in a row. He goes, look at these ads. I go, great. One thing I noticed, people in the first magazine were not in the second or third. I said, how come these people didn't renew?
Right.
If it's so good, they should be in the next month and the next month and the next month. I don't see any of these people in this ad, and you're selling monthly. You want to be in here subscription. Yeah. But I don't see them the second month. I don't see them the third or fourth month. Right. They did it once. I said, that tells me it's not effective.
No ROI.
They did not get it. And the ads weren't great, but they were, food pictures. So it looks okay. Right.
Yeah.
It really wasn't a copywriting, but it was something. But they didn't see it. They didn't get the return they wanted. Most of them. So they weren't in new. And I pointed out to them, I said, how come they're not advertising with you?
Yeah.
How come you didn't sign them up, or how come they discontinued after 1 month?
And a lot of people, a lot of people are using AI to write their ads now.
Oh yeah.
So I have no problem with AI. I think you can go in and put in information into AI and have AI write an ad, but please personalize it. I think a lot of these ads in this marketing, like these salespeople, and that's what I'm saying to you, because we're here to help you guys out, the business owners and salespeople. If you're watching this, this will get you more sales. Is go to a business, it'll get repeat sales because you're going to go to your owner. You want to make them money. I sold radio advertisement in several different places in Albuquerque and in Blythe and in Logan, Utah, and all over the place. In radio ads, you had to personalize those commercials. And the better the personalized commercial, the better the return on investment for the owner. So now he gets a customer that's satisfied. The customer finds a place that he enjoys now because of the ad, and the salesman wins because he has repeat business and kind of on autopilot now. Yeah.
So again, we're not saying all salespeople that would be a mistake too. So a lot of them are good and they do a good job and
it's just a combination for all of them.
You just got to be careful and ask those salespeople. I sat down with every single one when they come on. Number one, because they're a customer. Or they might be a customer.
They might be a customer.
So I give them, hey, come on in.
For your restaurant.
Yeah. So, and I tell our clients too, just always talk to them. Anybody come into your business, talk to them.
Right.
Be courteous and see what they have. And then see what they have. They might have something that's a gold mine. They're like, wow, I didn't even know that existed. Right. So, but ask the questions like, do these people show me somebody that's done it month after month? Right. What kind of ROI? Can I call them? Right. And say, what kind of results can I get from your, what can I expect? And see if they got the math. And if they got the math and they're saying, this person, he's in here every month and he loves it and he hasn't changed his ad in 5 years. So he's got a evergreen ad that works for him. Okay, good. Right. You're your guy I can deal with. Otherwise, you're educating that. You're fighting and tugging war with that salesperson.
Right. And then just on your direct ads, I'm going to throw this in as a bonus. On your direct ads, if you have a customer that was satisfied, that has come into your business as satisfied, seen your ad in that particular place that you're advertising, ask them for a little quote to put on that ad, because that's a real person helping your business. And there's nothing like word of mouth. That's a good word of mouth for your marketing.
Yep.
Sorry. Just bonus, bonus to throw in there.
But I know that owners are talking with salespeople all the time. I'd never say hang up on them or don't talk to them. Give them time of day and they might have something really good, but ask those questions. So mistake number 6. This is for brick and mortars that we mostly deal with, right? Brick and mortar business. Right. Trying to market outside your trade area. Right. So what is the
pointless?
We call the radius of impact. So like I said, we deal with brick and mortars, restaurants, retails, your service, the same thing. You've got a radius, right? And a lot of people spend a lot of money. Again, the sales people are telling you this. The online people are telling you this. Oh, you're going to, 10, 15, 20 miles out. You're going to respond. You're going to attract 30, 40. No, you're not.
No,
they're not coming. It's all local. So there's a tight radius, like for restaurants. It starts across the street. I go, what do you mean across the street? So I take a restaurant owner out and I'll turn his back if there's a strip center right across the street. Okay. I'll turn him and I'm facing it and he's not. I said, restaurant owner, name the businesses that are across the street.
Right.
What do you mean? I just name them. I can count 7. Name them. He'll get the one that's there, the bank. I'm like, sure. Right. And maybe he had the bike shop because he's been there.
Okay.
1 or 2. I said, there's 7 and you don't know. I said, if I told those owners and I turn them around, I say, tell me what's on the outside the street. Most of them say, I don't know.
Yeah.
They're not going to say a restaurant or a bakery or a retail store, or they're not going to say it. Right. It starts across the street, your marketing. And then you go from there and you go on the same street. We call it the trade area survey, right? You go and you start in a tight radius, like from across the street to, a quarter mile out, and then a half a mile out. 3/4 of a mile. You're talking a lot of. If you look at a Google map of your business and you're looking at that way, what's out there, you don't even get the 3 or 4 miles, and you're already saturated. Because for restaurant, we're looking at hotels, motels, businesses, rooftops, businesses, industrial parks. I mean, it's just anything there that's within driving distance or walking distance is a potential customer.
When I was running a store up in Brigham City, Utah, I was running a Payless Shoes, and we had this kid come in every week, Tom. And he would give us a flyer. Hey, come stop by our restaurant. Come stop by our restaurant. 10% off or a free meal or a free drink or whatever. That used to annoy the tar out of me. It's like, this kid's going to be here. I'm so busy. And, oh my goodness. Guess where my wife and I went to eat that Saturday morning? We'd go to that restaurant, use that coupon because he was there all the time. Otherwise, I wouldn't even known. You know, I'd go to the same old. And this was a new family's new business. And they just kept handing out those coupons. So you're right. It does work. I never thought of that until right now. Actually, you got my memories going. But yeah, I remember that very well.
And how many people walk into your business soliciting?
Right.
No one.
Right.
No
exactly.
one's doing it.
Nobody does it anymore.
Used to back in the day, and it worked. So I tell our restaurant owners, get the food out there.
Yeah.
Do some catering promotions, give away some catering, do some, fishbowl drawings, free meal, free lunch, but right there in your tight.
Talk to your chamber of commerce. And, like our chamber of commerce here usually does donuts or coffees or burritos or whatever. And somebody sponsors it every single Tuesday.
Oh, yeah.
Wouldn't that be great? Hey, today's meeting was sponsored by so-and-so. Our chamber is very active. So, it would be great to implement any kind of networking group or a church group or something and donate a little bit, or there's a lot of ways. Oh, this is a fun part, man. I just love grassroots marketing,
Well, and for restaurants, I'd say 5 miles. Now, if you're catering, you can probably go a little bit further, but it's got to make sure the quality's there. You can go 10, 20, as long as the quality isn't jeopardized by the distance, right? Sitting in traffic.
So what was the don't on this? Because we're getting into all the do's.
Yeah, the don't was don't market outside your trade area.
Okay,
you're going to waste money. So what's your radius for your pool? I know at first you want to do everywhere.
Now,
right?
so I made a huge mistake. This is a real story. With our pool company, we just said Phoenix metro area, we're going to do everything.
We're in Buckeye.
And we're in Buckeye. You realize it takes an hour and a half through traffic to get from one end of this town to the other. And we were literally doing pulls in Apache Junction from Buckeye. We were literally doing pulls in Chandler. And we said, we're going to build up those areas and put a guy there, which is great. I mean, that can work. But you don't start that way. And we were spread all over the place. And that was back when gas was $1.90 a gallon or whatever. So it was affordable. And now then $4 a gallon came and $5 a gallon came. And it's like, whoa, wait a minute.
Right.
We need a radius that we market in.
That's profitable.
So we're within 20 miles. Our trucks.
Now you will do special jobs that are costly at a distance.
Oh yeah.
You go make money on that one job.
Absolutely. We do certain kinds of jobs, but to actual weekly service.
The bulk of your business.
We rein that in. And you know what? Our business grew.
Yeah.
We actually grew from being tighter because we were better at what? Customer service.
Right.
The customer service went through the roof. Our marketing cost went way down because now we're targeted.
Right.
Or we could keep the marketing the same. And the ROI was higher.
Well, absolutely. And you were talking about Scottsdale, and I said, that's great, Kevin. But you know what? In my neighborhood, there are probably 20 pools. I don't see your truck.
You don't see my truck, right?
I'm close.
And until I get those,
don't go
to Scottsdale.
Right, until I see trucks doing these pools.
Absolutely.
When I see your Miracle Pool trucks doing these pools, then but you got a lot of work to do here.
And there's still, there's so much in that realm of business. So you're talking about restaurants, it being in that radius. Think about how many people are in Phoenix. You don't have to market in Avondale to get business in Buckeye. You don't have to advertise. You just stay here in a 15-mile radius. So you think about Buckeye's at 100,000 people. If you got 1% of that business a day,
could you even do it?
Could you even handle it?
Could you even do it?
So,
and that's tight. And that's going here to there to there to there.
So all our point is saturate the area that you're in. Find your target market, your people that you want to do business with, and treat them right and run your operations at top notch. You'll be successful.
The nice thing about cross the street marketing, they can walk.
Absolutely.
There's no traffic.
Absolutely. Yeah. This kid used to come in and give lunches or samples and stuff to all the plaza. We were in a Kmart plaza back in the day. And then there was several other businesses around there. And he was competing against several other restaurants. And they ended up being a staple in the town. They're still there.
And one more thing about the trade area. Once you get to 5 miles, if you ever get to 5 miles, it usually takes about a year. You need to go back and start again. Why?
People change.
People move. They get fired. They change jobs. They forget about you.
Businesses close.
They forget about you. Some die. Some die. They take a competitor up on their offer, and the competitor stole you. Right? You have no idea. They just quit using your business.
Yeah, and there's a lot of cheap shots.
There's a lot of stuff out there, right? Real good deals. Or probably the number one reason is that you run them off on poor operations. It's an unresolved complaint that you didn't handle, or something that they don't do business with you anymore, and it's your fault.
And you know what the easiest thing, the hardest thing to say is, but it wins back people the easiest. I'm sorry.
Yeah, sorry. I mean, back
and sincere. Don't just throw it out there. But I'm really sorry that you had that experience at our business. I'd like another chance.
Yep.
And it wins a lot of people.
One client that said, I went to that building and I talked to them, and they're going to order. And I go, yeah, but there's a night shift too. Oh, and there's
another shift. Yeah.
There's 3 shifts there, 3 different crews.
Think about the warehouse.
Did you go talk? Right. Did you go talk to the 3rd shift and 2nd shift? No. Well, you're open while they're open, right? Your business is open.
Yeah.
Go again and talk to the new crew, and then go again and talk to the night crew, right? So even that same business, like when they're talking about hospitals and stuff, you go to one hospital, you're catering here, you're hitting all those other doctors' offices right there in the same thing. You're growing in that same building. Car dealerships, right? We feed the mechanics, the salespeople, boom, the office people, and within that business, there's 4 or 5 areas to do catering and lunches and delivery and stuff like that. So not only across the street, but in one business. I'll talk about restaurant, retail.
Right.
Then your example would be more different services, right? Add another service to your existing service, which I think you do.
Yeah, that's what we actually do.
Yeah. Add so that your customers buy more stuff from you. And that's as smart.
And it could be simple. It could be $5 project. It could be $120 project. It doesn't matter. Yeah, but always be adding to your business.
So be tight.
That's another marketing thing that we could bring up too, is using your current customer to implement other projects or food, let's say you got tacos and you add at the end, oh, we got this brand new thing. We have empanadas now.
Yeah.
At the end, or fried ice cream or whatever. So always be adding something, and it doesn't have to be expensive, but it sure adds to the bottom line. And that counts as marketing.
Yep, sure does. So keep it tight, right? If you're brick and mortar, keep it tight and keep hammering it, scorched earth it.
Even
make sure everybody knows you're there.
And services and brick and mortar, keep it tight.
Yep. 7th mistake is not capturing your customer's contact info.
Common mistake.
I mean, how many times do we go to a restaurant and they ask us to sign up for the rewards program, and here we have your email and thank you very much, and asking for our stuff.
Right.
Never. Rare. Very rare. We teach our clients, you want them to, you have your marketing process. They come in, right? You get their data somehow. Hey, when's your birthday, anniversary? We got all these promotions. Try to get the contact,
right?
Because if you got the database, well, now you're marketing to people over and over and over again.
Well, right? I'm going to talk about your daughter for a minute. My daughter-in-law. But every time we go to somewhere new, she signs up for the rewards because she gets something free for that meal.
Yeah.
And then guess what happens? Direct mail comes to their house, and hey, stop by Bubba 33's because we're going to give you a free ice cream,
they're doing
free pizza or whatever. Yeah. That's how you do it. Have some kind of rewards program, but not just the rewards program. You got to follow up. You got to have the follow up.
Yeah, and rewards, loyalty programs, all that, but just following up.
Email list.
Some of just have, email list, constant contact email list.
Newsletters.
Yeah.
Great stuff.
Yep. Once you get, and we'll talk about that in what you do with the database.
Yeah, absolutely.
But most businesses don't. create a database of their customers. They just don't. I mean, ones I do business with, most of the time, they don't ask for my contact number.
No.
Now they're getting better. So some of the retailers, hey, do you have a number? Do you have a phone number? You know, we're going to some of the retail shops, and they're getting it, right? They're asking for those things. But those are also big chains. I'm talking about the individual.
That's how I was going to bring that up. You're talking Fry's and
some of they're going to do that, right?
Yeah,
but what about the little restaurants we go to? They don't have anything like that. They have a cash register that rings in, but they have no tech at all to capture my data. And once they had it, what would they do with it?
Right.
They don't know what to do with it.
They don't know what to do, or they don't have the time or whatever.
Right. So find a way, and we call it database engagement.
Right.
We have a lot of strategies on what to do with that database, and it's to get them in again and to refer and to reward and to recognize and to educate and entertain,
specials,
newsletters, and so So find a way to get that customer data, and then we can help you what to do with that data to make sure it raises sales. So make sure you can, no matter what business you're in. Oh, here's another one, good one. Mistake number 8. 1 is the loneliest number. Right?
Okay.
1 is a very lonely number.
Yeah, it is.
And so what this means is I ask, what are you doing for marketing? Well, I'm doing Facebook promotions.
I see where you're going. Yep.
That's it.
Facebook.
What? Well, I do digital. Okay. And we do radio ads. And the problem with 1, like especially like Facebook, you build up you build up a following, right? And then they change the algorithm on you, right?
That's so true.
Or something changes, and you just your medium,
the rules change
the rules. It's more expensive.
TikTok gets shut down.
TikTok gets shut down.
You know, you can't put all your eggs in one basket when it comes to marketing. You have to diversify in marketing.
Right. Yeah, you can't do just one. And we go back to our ROI marketing.
Right.
So I have an ROI Facebook market ad I'm doing. I have an ROI direct mailer I got going on. I got an ROI email campaign that all give me ROI, and it's
phone
multiple
campaigns, text messaging campaigns.
and back in the day, it was hard for us to keep track of it because we were using spreadsheets.
Right.
You know, we have 10, 12 promotions going on: hotels, motels, car dealerships, birthday promotions, anniversary promotions, buy one get one. But we're tracking it by hand. Well, now there's automation.
Yeah.
You know, you get the automation, and it does it for you. It's a lot easier. But we did it back in the day. You had to keep track of all of it, and we'd keep what works. If it didn't work, either tweak it and do it again. And if it didn't work, gone. But 1, you can't have 1, right? A lot of them do 1.
If I owned a nail salon in this town, there's like 20 of them. I know, because my wife and my daughter and my granddaughter and my daughter-in-law and all go to them. I would be marketing like crazy because there's so much competition. I'd be giving out specials and within your radius. That would be huge.
So if you're only doing 1 or 2, open it up. Start testing. It's we call it being, the chief marketing officer. That's what you're doing.
Do you have a number that you would pick that would be good? Is it depend on the business? Do you have a number of different streams that you would try at one time that's easy to track? Would you do 1? Oh, well, one's a lonely number. So you wouldn't do 1
at a time.
So would you just do 2, or would you do 3 or 4 or 5? Would you have a ton of them out there, or would that get too confusing? Is there too much?
Yeah, you could overwhelm yourself.
That?
Well, if you're overwhelming yourself, well, that doesn't make sense either. You need to do, because you have to be able to track and tweak.
Well, I'm thinking overwhelming the customer, like, oh, that's another ad. It's another ad. It's another ad. Used to be, if you remember, right, 70s and 80s, it was saturate the market. Saturate. That was the answer. And now I'm finding oversaturating actually can be a bad thing.
Well, the way we look at it, I like going back to how it was back in the day, right? Saturate. So they see you on TV, they hear you on the radio, they see you on the newspaper, they see a direct mailer, they see an email, they see a banner, they see, right? And so they see you in multiple platforms. They go, I got to go check this out.
Right. I agree with that.
Yeah. But
the ad is the same. You're talking about 5 different ads.
Yeah. Right? 5 different media.
5 different streams of media.
Right. Multiple streams.
Okay. That's what I want to clarify.
Well, offers could get confusing, but a lot of times
multiple streams of the same offer
great.
is great.
but you might have different products. Like if I'm in back to restaurants, I have a catering ad. It's just going to catering customers, right?
Okay.
It's have a very different
So
offer
targeted.
than a business ad. Very different
Right.
offer than a rooftop ad. You know, the
Okay.
houses
Right.
where I want to get families in. I'll have a family directed direct mail piece
Okay.
that won't look like the catering. That won't look like the business to business ad.
Right.
So
And then you could
like you
track
said, you have
that
to target
avatar.
your
Yeah,
target.
you
Yeah,
gotta
you're targeting.
target your
So you have a
market.
different message.
Right.
So yeah, I might see your catering message. I might see I might get a mailer at the house. I might see on TV. Right.
Okay.
Will it be all different offers?
Could be.
Depends on what.
Could be.
Yeah.
But
You
it
might see
just
my
depends.
catering offer. You might see my family offer. You might see something else. And I'm gonna take them up on
And
that.
that's fine, but not the same product, 5 different offers.
Yeah. If you confuse people, yeah, you don't want to be confusing. But I'd rather have that problem than one is the loneliest number.
Right. Well, you're not going to get much off of one is a lonely number.
Yeah. So make sure you're doing multiple, and test and track, and as many as you can handle. That's why the automation is good.
Right.
I mean, how long does it take you to talk with your Valpak rep to get an ad going?
Depends on me. I can be pretty picky.
Yeah.
But no, if I already have stuff in place, I mean, 5 minutes and
That's
hey,
right.
go ahead and run it. And then
Make
I
this
want to
tweak,
run
no.
it. Yeah, make this tweak. And then they have demographics. And so I'll say run it in this, and this demographic because I want to grow in these areas. That's how we do it. And it works really well for what we do.
And it's not a lot of time commitment.
It's not
once you get it down. Once you have evergreens going, evergreen means a promotion that runs over and over and over and is predictable.
Yes, the evergreens are beautiful. I love it. It's automated. You can change a picture here and there. But when you're rebuilding and reconstructing and trying to find your perfect avatar, that takes time. Take your time and do it right, because once you get it, that's golden.
Yep. Hey, mistake number 9. This is for new business owners too. Don't copy your competitors' losing marketing campaigns. What do? Well, I don't know how to market. I'm gonna go see what they're doing. Right. What is the restaurant down the street doing? Oh, they're doing that. Okay, I'm gonna do the same thing.
Just because they're doing it doesn't mean it's working.
Right. It doesn't mean
do your own thing. One of my favorite. I don't mean to keep interrupting you, but one of my favorite restaurant owners told me a very valuable lesson years ago. It was Robbie and Karen actually over in Quartzsite at Silly Owls. And I was, so-and-so's doing this. So-and-so's doing this. I got to switch this up. And Robbie just looked at me. He goes, put his hand on my shoulder. He said, Kevin, don't worry about them, what they're doing. Just do what you do. And that was the greatest piece of advice, because just because they're doing something doesn't mean it's working.
Right. And we call it Me Too marketing.
Okay.
I sound like them. I look like them. It's me too. Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Well, hold on. What do you mean you too? Yeah. If I have a choice between you that I don't know, and your competitor that I do know, why would I try you? You're saying the exact same thing. I'm going to go with somebody I already know before taking a chance.
And being different is always better.
Yeah, me too. So here's some Me Too messages. We've got great service.
Me too.
Who says that? Everybody.
Everybody.
So it's not an advantage. We have quality products.
Me too.
Who says that? Everybody. Your satisfaction is our number one priority. Who says that? Everybody. Right. Everybody says these things, and I can go on. I have a whole list of the Me Too messages, and you can't sound like them because that's like
be different.
And the owner says, "Well, we make everything from scratch." I go,
"Me too."
So is everybody else.
Yeah,
that's a common. That's not your differentiator.
Yes.
You're copying them, and you're saying the same thing. You sound like them. There's no differentiation. Why would they come try you? You got it. And we help people craft unique.
The advantage
messages
is be different. Be yourself. There's nobody else like you. There's nobody. You can have similar products. A taco is a taco is a taco, but they're not. And you can have your own spin, but do your own thing. Don't be everybody else. Be you and market you, and let the people find your market, find your target.
Yeah, and the salespeople, they open up a portfolio and say, "Which one do you want?"
That's basically it.
Right, and they're another quick onto the next.
Yeah,
but if they have to sit there and design an ad, they're not going to do that. Right, and you're going to, I take up a lot of their time, and I know I don't want to hurt them, but I want to know if this is good for me. I'm going to ask a lot of questions. But no, they open up their portfolio. Which one do you want? You want to look like him, them, or them? Which one? Oh, wow, that looks good. I'll look like them.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you'll say the same
look
thing.
like
So now
anybody.
your ad pops in this hole,
Right.
and then very little effect.
Little effect, because what does your eyes do when you look at an ad and they're all the same?
Yeah.
You just page,
Yep.
page.
Nothing stands out.
That's why print is not working that way anymore. I believe in print.
Oh, sure.
I
do
love
a lot of print.
I love print, but it has to stand out. It has to be different, and it has to be unique, and it has to be what your customer is looking for and wants.
And we were looking at some of these smaller markets. They still got yellow pages.
Oh, I know.
And there's nobody in them.
Nobody's in them.
I mean, you'd be the only one. Obviously, if somebody's subscribing to it and looking
and
at
who
that.
does that work for?
Business.
What's your avatar? Yeah.
Small businesses.
Who else is in that avatar? I was thinking about that the other day, because we did talk about the yellow pages. You're elderly. You're baby boomers. Baby boomers are the biggest population, and they still go back to the newspaper, and they still go back to the yellow pages.
They do. They don't like
still go back to direct TV. They don't like the tech stuff.
Nope. So yeah, old school is still new school.
It's new.
It's still, just got to reinvent it. Yep. Small newspapers, and they read the newspapers.
And you can find a whole bunch of customers you didn't even dream you'd find.
And who reads newspapers every morning? Trump.
Usually, yeah. You're talking
they
about
have a stack of
educated people.
Yeah,
a lot of educated people use a newspaper, and they don't use digital because
they can
get down a rabbit hole. Yeah,
I know. But print media is good. So don't copy losing market. Now, if it's working for them and you can prove it, still tweak it, right?
Still make it original.
Make it original, but that might be the way to go. And that's why I'm asking the salespeople, is this what I should do, and why?
Sure.
Give me that. So, but I don't want to look like everybody else. I don't want to sound like everybody else. I don't want to taste like everybody else. I just want to be unique.
Be uniquely you.
Right. And it comes with the number 10, which is kind of number 1, right? Like I said, I didn't really necessarily rank them, but number 10, just because it's number 10, the big marketing mistake is you're not your own chief marketing officer. You have delegated everything out. You are not tracking. You are not doing marketing. And if you are doing an ad, there's no way to track. There's no return, or it's poor, right? And you have a stack of bills that aren't making you return, because you're not your chief marketing officer. You're just doing activities. You're just, they told me I need to do this, I'm going to do it. I need to be on Facebook. No, you don't. Right? I said, why? What are you going to do? How much of that time suck to paste? And how often you got it? Well, I need to post 4 or 5 times a day. You don't have time for that. No, that's a losing media because of the time and the results.
Losing media.
But to understand that that's not enough, right? To really research what you're doing, take some copyright courses. That's for free. A lot of them are free. Or get a book. We have libraries of copywriting, and we've studied some of the best copywriters so that we can do an effective small ad that gets response, right? Or a long ad. We can do sales letters,
right?
Multiple page sales letters
that are very effective,
and people read them. But you have to take some kind of basic marketing, advertising, sales, understand the prospect. It goes from an ad, advertising, right, to the marketing funnel. Now kicks in, right? I got their attention. Now what I want them to do. So it comes to the marketing phase. That might be multiple step, might be one step, right? Which then takes them to the sales process. I need to exchange money. I got something that you want, and you got something I want, money. And the sale happens. Right. And so how does that process work? It doesn't work in reverse. Right. And so you need to educate yourself on how appropriate ROI, we call direct response marketing is, and become your CMO, where you're making decisions where it's no longer a cost. Everything I'm doing is an investment that I can prove, and I'm controlling my sales through effective marketing. I can turn on the faucet when I need to. I can turn it back, slow it down when I need to. Also, like it's a seasonal push, you turn it back because you're packed.
You're already packed.
You're busy. You don't want to overwhelm. And then if you overwhelm yourself, we go back to mistake number 1. I'm not executing well.
Yeah, and just make sure you do tone it down. Your marketing and your sales, you tone that down to how your operations are going. So if you oversell and overmarket, and this goes right along with what you were saying, and all of a sudden you got this influx of business. That I've seen this happen. I've seen people grow too much in a month or two, hire new help, and then all of a sudden their business goes away because that new help didn't understand the operations. They threw in a warm body. They were untrained. They ticked off a bunch of customers, and boom, your base of customers went away because you just threw somebody in there and said, okay, do this. No, tone back your marketing, let the business stay where it's at, prepare the people. And once your people are prepared, turn up the volume of your marketing again, and boom, it matches your business. Now you grow.
Right.
And you take step by step, take baby steps.
And the operations have to match the marketing.
Yeah,
you can't
absolutely
do more on marketing than you can operate.
Right.
It's got to be, like I said, it's a valve. My team's stronger now. I'm going to get some more people in. So I turn it up and I start doing multiple campaigns again, or spend more money on the campaigns that are working.
Right. Or completely cut off their marketing and don't understand why their operations, why the business quit coming in. And now they got to start laying people off, and they go, oh, I forgot about marketing. So they go back, they turn up the marketing and try and get people. And it's a vicious cycle. You really, as a leader, need to be paying attention. And this is what we were talking about. Are you a trainer? In the hiring section, we were talking about, are you a trainer or are you working elbow to elbow? This is why you don't work elbow to elbow all the time with your people. You actually need to be the leader, because and train them properly so you can control the valve on these other things and orchestrate all that harmoniously so the business does continue to grow. You don't just throw it out there and say, again, Jello on the wall and see what sticks. So, hey, wait a minute. We didn't bring up our coffee cups. We got to do our coffee cup reveal every show. It's very critical. So you tell me about your coffee cup.
It's pretty cool looking. About all I can say about it. I think we got it from Mexico. It looks like something like, because
it does look like pottery.
There. Yeah.
I kind of really like cool. That.
This is real cool. So no story behind it. No. Yeah. Just
if anybody knows what Tom's cup is,
please let us know.
Please let us know. Right in the comments. Mine's actually from my daughter. It says, Kevin, warrior of Christ. I don't know if that is in Hebrew or what. And then it says, I would rather stand with God and be judged by the world than stand with the world and be judged by God. So my nice little cup that my daughter got me for Christmas one year. Yeah, I love it. I love it. Okay, coffee reveal. What do we have left, Tom?
That was it. Number 10.
That was
your own
10.
CMO. You be your chief marketing officer. You can't delegate it. You have to be in control. Like we said, the hats, right? You have to be the chief marketing. You're the marketing expert. You're the one having the conversations with salespeople, not the other way around. You're directing your marketing, not having it directed for you. And you have a strategy because you're learning how to do it.
And you can wear the 4 hats. We talk about the 4 hats in previous episodes. That's kind of our main theme of everything we do. It's a great way to run a business, is focus on the 4 hats. And it doesn't matter if you're the business owner, you're a business leader, you're a business manager, you're a foreman, or you're an inspiring manager or future business owner. Wear the 4 hats no matter what position you're in. Think like an owner. 4 hats: CFO, Chief Financial Officer; COO, Chief Operations; CMO, Chief Marketing Operations; and the CEO, the Chief
leader.
Executive Officer,
the leader of your business.
And we do have a mystery 5th hat, but we're not going to bring that up in this episode.
Yeah. So and you're wearing all those hats simultaneously. You don't take one off. When they take the marketing hat off and do all this, well, now I'm not marketing.
Right.
It's simultaneously, all the hats are being worn.
And you can see as we talk through all of this that everything's intertwined.
All related.
Right from the foundation of hiring your first people, hiring good people. We went through we have 2 segments on hiring strategies, questions to ask, another way of thinking about how you do it. So you're looking for retention. Do you do it hire slow, interview slow, hire slow, and fire fast? Or do you do fast, or you do hire fast? And we like to do hire fast and fire slow. so there's a whole meaning behind all of this. But all of this is integrated in building a foundational businesses to transform your life and transform your business. It is just absolutely imperative you build the foundation first. And it starts with wearing the 4 hats as an owner, manager, leader, inspiring manager. Going to building your team the right way, a team that matches the position. Then you start implementing, where's every penny going? What am I going to spend my money on? And the reason I bring that up before marketing is because you got to know what you're going to spend on the marketing to get more money in. Then your marketing, you go from your marketing and make sure that's where you build your sales, is in the marketing, the CMO division. And then your CEO, the overall executive of the company. What am I missing?
That's good. I
mean, we got to tell the secret of the 5th hat in one of these episodes, but they got to keep watching.
Wear the 4 hats first.
Wear the 4 hats
simultaneously,
first.
and then
Absolutely.
they'll automatically start getting that
growing your business. Yeah,
start.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So at the beginning of this series today, we also talked about giving away something, and it's something we do give away all the time. The importance of the assessment of your business. It's a free assessment. Go on to www.risefromtheashesconsulting.com and get your free assessment, or give us a call. We'll do a consultation with you absolutely free. No judgment zone. And this is just to help you in an area that you feel like you're struggling in your business. And we would love to help. Absolutely love to help. So we're going to give that away, the free assessment, or a free telephone conversation. And let's work together with some of these ideas and figure out a way to trigger the transformation in your business. I think that's a great way to end the show.
That's good. Marketing.
I'm Kevin James.
Tom Duhigg.
This is Rise from the Ashes Consulting Show. We're glad you tuned in. Transform your business. Transform your life today.